Now this coral here is a fan coral. In the wild, where you find the fans is where there's quite a fair bit of water flow, and they're actually going to be trapping little bits of nutrients out of the water, because most of these animals are non-photosynthetic, which means they're not relying on the light and their relationship with zooxanthellae algae as the rest of the corals are. So in an aquarium like this one, these type of corals don't always do as well. This particular specimen's only been here for sort of 4 to 6 weeks, and you're already seeing well and truly seeing some recession. This animal would need to be fed more regularly in order for it to be more successful. In a heavily stocked aquarium with a lot of fish, you might find this coral goes a little bit better, providing you're able to maintain your water quality, because it will have a higher amount of nutrients in the water, whereas this aquarium here only has half a dozen fish, and that's how he's able to maintain such a spectacular aquarium as this one, because his focus on nitrate and phosphate isn't as severe as most people's, because the load of the fish is not as substantial. But that's a disadvantage when it comes to non-photosynthetic corals, such as this fan coral. In order to try and bring him back, he's going to need to be fed a type of nutrient food stuff, like a coral food, which is best to put in a syringe or a pipette and actually squirt it onto the coral itself, in which you'll see its little tentacles trying to pull in the nutrients. And in this case, most of these tentacles are well and truly out, and it's trying to feed. But this aquarium has almost no particulate content at all. The water is crystal clear. It's beautifully filtered, which means that it's just not able to get the nutrients. You'll find with this little fella, once you actually do start to squirt in your organic food stuff, you will see it start to actively feed. So, so in this sort of case, the introduction of actual organic foods is really quite important. The next thing you'll find with this, if it doesn't start surviving better, and in most circumstances it will then start getting covered with algae, which has not happened in this case, I guess mainly because of how pristine this aquarium is. But the next thing I would start to see is a little bit of algae growing on it. So introducing some organic coral foods is really going to be quite important for these gorgons, these fan corals.